Jupiter in Leo creates a very, very dynamic personality. It creates a personality that is so focused on the external, so focused on what is out there, on getting attention, getting recognition, getting all this value into its midst, into its wake. It stands up for what it's believed in. It stands up for what it believes in. It's very, very noble. It's very heart-centered and deeply loving and deeply generous. In this episode of the Cosmic Sky Podcast, I'm going to be discussing Jupiter and Leo in the birth chart and what it means. Now, I have a live stream on my YouTube channel where I discussed this, and it cut off at the beginning, so don't mind that. But there were a lot of good points that I made in there. But this is going to be a little bit different. This is a podcast episode where what I'm going to be saying is going to be different from what I said in that live stream. If you go and check that out. This video is about Jupiter in Leo. I'm kind of doing since I started my podcast, I'm doing any other format type video that I did for certain plays instead of making them podcast episodes that they're in this podcast. I'm just doing it before anything else. So Jupiter in Leo in the birth chart. And let's talk about this placement. Leo is ruled by the sun. It's very, very magnanimous. This is a very magnanimous placement. Leo is ruled by that center star stage of who you truly are and being who you truly are. It's about shining in the spotlight, shining in the very center core of your being. It's the sun. When you're in your sun energy, when you're solar energy, you're shining uninhibitedly. You're being yourself. You're being your identity. You're spreading light onto others through you being yourself. And so that's what Jupiter in Leo seeks to be, is themselves and shining themselves. Shining through being themselves. So another thing I'm going to talk about with Jupiter and Leo is inspiring confidence in others. And I'm going to get to this. But, first of all, I want to say one of the things I brought up in that live stream is therapy. And, I know, a therapist who has this placement. And I think that her approach to therapy is bringing out people's radiant, beautiful selves, with inspiring them to be their best selves, with their most secure, loving, kind, most secure, most evolved self. And Jupiter and Leo can inspire others through confidence, through radiance, and through uplifting others. And so that's the gift of Jupiter in Leo in therapy. And so I'm going to talk about this, how, they believe that if you truly believe something, if you really feel it in your core, you believe in what you're doing, and you want to, stand up for it. Stand up for it. Exactly. So if you believe in something, act on it. Speak to it. Be real and raw and genuine about it. That's what they believe when it comes to beliefs, is really being this kind of embodying this kind of quality of truth and integrity. They grow through self-expression. They want to express themselves very, very uninhibitedly. That's how they really want to go through life, is to express themselves in their most unique, authentic way of self-expression. And they really believe in authentic self-expression. Like they really believe in expressing yourself with exactly who you are and being creative in that way. They grow through inspiring others to be leaders. Inspiring others to be leaders and to lead something bigger than themselves. To lead something to greatness. To lead some wonderful thing to that end promised land at the end goal of everything. So they grow through basically bringing people together and motivating them to, lead their lives and grow and be strong in themselves and to take action and to really be the driver's seat of their lives, to really be, the owner of their lives, to be the ones running their lives. So that's what they really want to invite people to step into with Jupiter in the sign of Leo when it comes to all of these kind of qualities that get really, really looked at here. So they inspire others. One of the things that they do is they have this way of inspiring others to find their passions. It's like, what are you truly passionate about? What really lights you up? What really gives you the spark? What really gives you joy? And what do you truly love doing that you feel so strongly about? Like Leo wants to, Jupiter and Leo wants to inspire others to do what they love, to do what they really just wake up and it just lights them up. So, you inspire others to find their passions and finding, your talents. Inspiring others to find their talents. What others look at them and say, you're really good at that, you have a knack for that, you have a gift of doing this. You have skills and the gusto and the real zest for doing what you're doing in that kind of way. And, inspiring others to find what they're good at and live that. And to really, really embody that. To do what you are good at doing. Is, really what this comes down to. Inspiring others to really focus on what they're good at and really, really hone in on that and maximize that and make the most out of it. They grow through authentic self-expression. They go through, genuinely and authentically expressing themselves with who they are. Just being who they are. Shining in their light. They inspire others to be their, at best, you are also not only being your authentic creative self, doing whatever brings you joy, like painting or quilting or writing books or cooking or whatever you're passionate about, whatever brings you joy. Or gardening. And it could be gardening. Inspiring others to be their creative selves. And to shine in their own light. And, what does it mean to be creative? It is about coming up with things that have never been done before out of imagination. So they really, really look at, Leo is a very, very positive sign, which looks at coming up with, new ways of doing things, and they have all that kind of thing. So, yeah. So there's a playfulness here. And it's like, I want to try something new that I never tried before. Like I wonder about this, and you're giving it a try. It's like, I wonder about doing this. I've never gone to the Scranton Bridge. I've never painted a Picasso. I've never built a bed before. I want to try how it is. I want to see how it is, and so you're trying it, like inspiring others to do that, to do what really, really lights them up and shining their own light in that way. They want their creative talents to be seen by others. That's what they're really after, is having what they do creatively, whatever that is, whatever creative pursuit that they go after, whatever creative talent that they have, that they want it to be recognized and seen by others. They want others to see it and, really, really see the value, because they want the attention, they want the fame, they want others to look at them and see all the beauty that they have to give. They're beautiful, vibrant, vital, self-filled with dynamism and vitality, and energy and motivation to be wild, being wild. Like, they want others to see that. They want to be acknowledged for their creative talents, showing that to the outside world and value. Like, I would say this placement, put yourself out on social media, or do something, where you're sharing something, publicly, where you're doing something creative and you're making it public so that others can see it. So, and I mean, right now my progressed moon is in Leo and my North Node's in the 5th house. So that just spells, creativity. Like, my life direction is creativity. And really stepping into my own, shining my own light, doing what is that makes me feel creative, not falling to the side of just doing it for an audience. Just, it's like, you start out doing what you enjoy doing creatively. You do what you authentically want to do creatively. Then, as soon as an audience sees it and says, you're so good at that, keep doing what you're doing, and they make all these demands, like, you should do this based off of your talent, you should do that, and then you cater to an audience, and then it's all about them, and then you just want the attention, the fame, and you want them to be happy, and so then you then you feel this pressure to perform. You just feel this pressure to act, this pressure to do things for your, to the people who flock to you. So that's the trap that you can get into. And I think that Jupiter and Leo can stay out of this very, very strongly, and if they can just stick to doing what they really, really want to do without relying on an audience's external opinion, an external view of them, then that's really where they can shine. Very, very leadership oriented. Very, very much about leadership. They want to, they want to feel like they're in charge. They want to feel like they have power. They want to feel like they're, the king of the hill, or in a position of authority. They really, really thrive. Like, this placement really, really does well and thrives in a position of leadership, in a position of authority, because they bring that confidence and pride with them. They bring that self-assured believing in themselves, and wanting others to take them seriously, and wanting others to give them what they want. And so they do this in a way where, they are being, they are leading. They are truly leading. So they express themselves, they can express themselves very, very confidently. Inspire others to be their creative self. Inspiring others to be confident in themselves. Like part of therapy, as I said before, is inspiring others to be confident, to work through their stuff, and to have the self-confidence that they can get through it, that they're not alone, and that they can work through this and become a better version. Like Jupiter and Leo can inspire confidence in others. That's really, really where they thrive. Inspiring others through being very, very creative and generous. Jupiter and Leo wants to live big. They really, really want to live a very, very big, dynamic. They want to go big. They want to be loud and proud. They want to live a life of positivity, exuberance, fun, pleasure, and very, very powerful and potent life is what they want to live. So, inspiring others in this kind of way, through their generosity, through their giving, through them being themselves and through giving love to others, inspiring others to believe in themselves, making others feel confident, giving off. Leo is a generous sign, not through the mind and the logic, but through the heart. It gives from its heart, be it through words of love and encouragement, or through giving. Like Leo will give you the shirt off its back to you. It is very, very generous. In that it will give you so many things willingly. Like it's a gift giver. It just has a pride and just, love for life and love for others. And it's a very, very proud, regal, and royal energy. And so there's a pride here with Jupiter and Leo. There's a sense of pride where, you don't want your efforts to be undervalued. You want people to see the full value and really truly appreciate what you have to give. And you can inspire others to discover their unique light. Is what you can also step into. Like we all have light inside of us. We all have beauty and gifts and great energy to give from, all of us really. And I think that Jupiter and Leo can help inspire others to really, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let others, shine their light. So they can express your unique talents. They can express their unique talents, through Jupiter in the sign of Leo. Can really, really express its talents very, very strongly when it comes to, oh, I'm so good at this, I'm so astute, and so well-trained, and so skilled, and so eloquent at doing this, that they're inspiring others to express this. And you achieve something based on, you achieving something based on doing something because you wanted to creatively can then inspire others to do the same. You being your creative self could also inspire others to be their creative selves. So, it goes that kind of way in that kind of way. So, it's very, very important not to take opportunities for yourself. To not be selfish and dominating with these opportunities. To not be skingineering and, groovinating and, mighty and powerful and a power monger and, really, really selfish when it comes to taking opportunities for yourself, like wanting all the power, wanting to be better than others, and, making, with arrogance and all these things, like very, very egoic. Like, just be yourself and take advantage of opportunities from a soul-centered, loving, authentic, sovereign place, and then you will find that your luck just magnifies in this life, because this placement is a very, very lucky placement in that when it lives from its heart, when it follows its heart, that, luck and growth and opportunities just come to it. That's what happens with Jupiter and Leo. It's like the more that they are in alignment with their heart, the more opportunities just come their way. They can have confidence and inspire others to and create appreciation for others. So they can really, really thrive in fields where their creative talents can be recognized by others. How can these creative talents be, seen and, acknowledged by others? That's what they want to put themselves out there to be. And then you shine the spotlight radiantly. You shine radiantly, very, very well, in the spotlight. That's what you're all about, is taking advantage of the light, is making the most of the light. Leo is about seizing the moment. It's very, very present moment oriented. How can I make the most of myself, and how can I use all my energy and all my creative talents and, all my gifts and all my, how can I have the most power? What can I do so that I have the most power in this present moment? Like, that's what Leo is about. And you can really shine the spotlight in a radiant kind of way with this. When others recognize how truly genuine you are, Leo at best is not a fake egoic sign with caring about its image and how it looks and how is it doing, and it's very, very shy, very, very self-conscious. On the other end, very, very dominating and very, very vain. No, that's a low road Leo. I have a real thing against Leos for that. But when it is genuine and creative, when it is just giving in a real, loving, heart-centered way, then that's when I really, really do see the value in this energy, and I really, really have a love for this energy. So if you are like this, it opens up many doors for you. And so, what they really want is, ideas that motivate them to be courageous. Ideas that motivate them to be, they want to be courageous. They want to be brave. They want to go into it with, power and bravery and strength and, knowing where their strengths lie, and knowing themselves, valuing themselves, having the confidence that they can achieve any, battle that they put themselves, that they throw themselves into, that any, no conflict or no person or no uphill road eventually is too much for them. Or like they can handle anything. They want to feel invincible, like they can handle anything. That they can, rise above any problem or any, obstacle, or, someone, is hurting them, they will stand up from a place of principle and noble and heart-centered place. So they will be courageous to those people. They're not afraid of people. They're not afraid to stand up to those. And that is really, really admirable. That's very, very admirable indeed. They inspire confidence in others. They inspire others to be their confident selves. And, they want to be heroes. They really, really want to be heroes. They want to be that heroic figure that stands up for the underdog, that stands up for the ones in a bad situation, stands up for the one on the bench in the park that's just sitting there with a sandwich and whatever, doing nothing. Like they want to stand up for those who need their help, who need their light, who need their love and assistance. They want to save others because it makes themselves feel strong and good, and like it makes themselves feel good because it makes them feel like a good, loving, kind, wonderful person. They like to put themselves out there as somebody that others like. They want to be liked by others. They want to be loved by others. They want everybody to love them. And so part of that is if you are heroic and if you save people and if you stand up for others, then others will, be on your side. People will be on your side if you go in that direction, in general, or, most people. I'm just, and that's a very, very general thing. I'm just saying that, generally, and so just know that. So, they want to, really, really stand up and be courageous in themselves. They really, really want to have this courage to them where they are shining in their light. And so they're very, very stubborn in what they believe, and in what they truly want to achieve out into the world. They have very, very strong beliefs, very, very strong feelings, very, very strong opinions and notions and philosophies of life. That they will stand up for these principles very, very bravely and unapologetically, and they will be bold, and they will be proud about it. They will be proud about it. So standing up in a stubborn, they have a lot of will. They have very, very strong willpower with this because Leo, after all, is a fixed sign. When they have something to say, it's not fake. It's not from an ego-centered, just, logical place from doing something because others want them to do it. When they say something, it's very, very loud. It's very, very clear, what they're saying. They're saying something in a very, very clear way, where if they say something like, okay, this is how this person really, really feels. This is what this person really, really thinks. This is true to them. Like when they say something, it's like, okay, you really mean it. You're really true about it. You're truly authentic about it. And it's very, 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 very direct. You don't skirt around the bushes, or you're not cryptic about what you say. It's very, very, upfront and in your face. And it's from your heart. You speak. When you have something to say, you don't just speak from logic. Whatever you say, whatever comes out of your mouth, it's from your heart. And I love that about you, Jupiter and Leo. I love that about Leos, is that they live from this authentic, heart-centered space where every action that they take, every word that they say, every endeavor that they go upon, every project that they do, every relationship that they have is all from their heart. And when Leo can live, completely from their heart and living a life from that place, then I have all good things to say about Leo energy. They proclaim what they feel and believe, not really copying off of others. They don't just cheat. and just say what everybody else is thinking. They don't just cheat and, say, oh, this person said that, I believe in, fairness and equality, so Jupiter and Leo is going to just copy off of that. They're going to say it in a way that's true for them. They're going to say it from the heart. And I really, really admire that you have the gift to speak from your heart, to have a gift to make every piece of information your own, your unique stamp on it, your own thing, in your own way, with your own, with your uniqueness, how unique you are. And so it's very, very admirable. And keep living that out, Jupiter and Leo. Really, really live that out. You stand up for what you believe in. Jupiter and Leo is very, very childlike. Think of a child. There's an innocence here. There's an innocence to a child where they don't have like psychological baggage, or they're not concerned with the list and the schedule and the end goals and the projects that need to be done over there, and the details that they're going to be care of, and the details that need to be taken care of, and all the inhibitions that come with growing up as an adult. Like a child life is very, very simple. And if they feel glee, then they're going to express it proudly. If they feel sadness, then they're going to be authentic in that expression. Their hearts are very, very, authentic. And there's just, children inspire us to just not take life so seriously, to make the most out of life, to embrace the fun side of life, to, to just play and be in the moment. Just don't worry about, oh, it has to be so serious, no, it has to be so structured and so, rigid and so, deep and profoundly. Like, no, you can just play and really, really raise your vibration. Like children, have a very, very high vibration because they're living from a heart-centered place, and they live from this place, and, their frequency is raised when you are expressing from your heart, like Jupiter, and kind of like, when I used to be in school, I used to just sing at recess to the teachers and just sing uninhibitedly out, expressing my creative self, and I really, really enjoyed that, and that was me back then. I was also into, I had bracelets on, I was into jewelry, and I copied several, feminine, females that I, seen on TV or whatever. It's like not taking life so seriously and doing all that. And so they also want to say and do things that they feel are good. Kind things to do from a place of not victimhood, not selfless giving, but from authentic, real, heart-centered, beautiful, and strong love for others. They do the things that make them feel good to them. They do what feels good to them. They do what brings them joy. It's like with Jupiter and Leo, I'm going to ask you, what brings you joy? What brings you just fun and happiness and fulfillment in this life? Do what feels good to you. And when you do what feels good, sometimes, I'm going to say that doing what feels good is not doing something that, and then you're sitting on it like, oh, I have to do this thing. And then I can't enjoy what feels good to me anymore because I have this responsibility to do. I'm just going to say doing what feels right. If you can do something, and you can just breathe from an inside-out place, from a heart-centered space, with doing something that feels intuitively right to you, that feels like, you feel secure and you feel, like it feels like the right thing to do, intuitively from your heart, and that is, that is really for Jupiter and Leo, for them to shine in that way, showing, showing their pride and generosity, showing off this, sort of, these qualities. They make their motives known with courage. They're very, very courageous, and they don't keep things private or secret. If they want to do something, and if they have something to say, if they have a plan, if they have an idea, if they have a vision or a net pine or an aspiration, then they will act on it with courage. They will be courageous in this way with what they are deciding to do, what they authentically want to do. And so they will tell you why they do what they do. They will let you know exactly what they're thinking, exactly what they feel and what they believe from their heart, because they want you to know about it. Because they want to be genuine, they want to be real, they want to express that authentically, and they want others to, they're doing this because they want others to see them for their true selves. They want others to see them for who they are. See their beautiful, radiant self. They will be direct about what they feel and believe. They will tell you directly what what they indeed. So they feel a very, very strong sense of purpose. They're doing something, and they know why they're doing it, and they feel like this is the right thing to do. This gives me joy. This gives me fulfillment and peace, and this feels right. They're going. The beautiful thing about this placement is acting on that, taking action and living that out. And they're very, very obvious, where they can be very, very where it can be where they're very obvious about what they feel, about it's obvious what they feel. They are not afraid to stand up for what they believe in, no matter the cost, no matter the situation, no matter what is going on, no matter how expensive it is, no matter how tough it is, no matter how this person's having all the power, no matter how this person's taking over and being a dominator or being, controlling or, manipulative or unfair or, mean and disrespectful. They will stand up for what they believe in no matter what. And this is wonderful. Somebody that, stands up, for what they, believe in, no matter what is, what goes on, no matter, if somebody doesn't like them, if somebody doesn't reject them, they do this, that is beautiful. That is wonderful. Isn't that amazing? To have somebody, who can have the confidence and pride to do that. They have the intention of being honorable. They will stand up for their beliefs no matter what. They may say exactly, what you think. Not that they read your mind, but they will say the right thing for you. Because they can really, really connect on a heart-centered level. They can tap into your heart energy and speak to you from that place. And tailor what they're saying towards your needs and towards what you think and what you want and what you're passionate about. Speaking from that place very, very strongly. Also, one of the areas that they are working on in this life, learning to share center stage with somebody else. Learning to share the spotlight. Learning to share, what, their love for creativity and self-expression, and sharing this, not letting others, one of the things about Leo energy is it can get caught in comparisonitis, because it wants to be bigger and better, and it wants to be radiant and shine and be very, very strong. And when others are stronger than Leo, when others are more powerful, when others have more in their lives, when others' lives seem to be better than the ones that Jupiter and Leo lives, then they tend to feel very, very, like, jealousy is a very Leo Scorpio emotion, and they compare themselves to others. Well, like, Leo at worst is a sign that lends itself to getting caught up in comparisonitis. They allow others having a nice car, or making a huge salary, or I don't know, having a mansion, or being a prolific author, or having a really, really popular YouTube channel, more popular than yours. They tend to let that negatively affect their success, and then dim their light. Feel less worthy, feel less confident, feel less strong in themselves, because they feel like others are stronger than them, and then they become, very, very, powerful, and they can limit themselves to narcissistic qualities and egoic qualities. So that's the word of that. So they can get into confidently arrogant, an exaggerated sense of like hubris and confidence, and egoic behavior. And they can really, really get into their ego, and I'm going to discuss egoic behavior. Basically thinking that they are more important and they are more special, and just a sense of entitlement, basically, and superiority. Basically shutting out anybody else's selves. Basically shutting out anybody else's, thinking that they're better than others, basically. And shutting out any other perspective, because it's, any other perspective is not valuable. It's you're worthless. It's meaningless. It's not worth my time and energy. And it doesn't matter to me. And you're very, very closed off to that, and then you shut out, and you forget that others' perspectives are also very, very important. So, and this comes from an insecure place about the self and a false sense of self. This is what this comes down to, and that creates the tendency to, as it says here, brag. And yeah, the absolute worst, lowest level of consciousness for this placement is becoming a narcissist. That's the absolute worst of Leo, and all of those egoic, selfish traits are going to be brought out by the South Node in Leo this summer. When the South Node enters Leo, July 2026, it will really, really dissolve all of those. It will really have us look at the egoic, selfish behavior like, no, we have to think of the greater good. We have to be objective and detached, and be very, very idealistic about certain things in a way that is, where we're not caring what others think in a very, very detached way. So that's what the North Node Aquarius will want. And when I get to that, around I think July 24th, 25th, something like that, I'll, around that time I'll be doing videos for the North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo horoscopes. So, all right. So, wanting personal achievement, just wanting, personal achievement, and, and just out, you're doing it out for yourself. And you're not connecting to your intuition. You're really, neglecting inspiring others, neglecting motivating others to greatness. So the thing is to not do it just for attention. Oh wow, this is huge. I do not do my videos and run my channel just for attention and fame and recognition. I don't do it just for the validation of just getting views and getting, other people saying it. I do it because I authentically want to. It's from my heart. It's from my creative soul energy, because I want to put that out, because it's my channel and I want to put what I want to put out, and I don't care how many views it gets. I want to put it out, so I am freely putting it out, so that is, really what it comes down to, when it comes to, not doing it for just attention. And so it's about continuing to be your authentic self, being who you truly are, even when others don't see it. And that can be very, very difficult. Can you continue to shine your light authentically and courageously, not giving a darn about how many people see it or whatever everybody thinks about you, or just, just for the sake of views and likes and, attention and praise and all these things? Can you do it just because it's fun for you? It gives you joy. It's what it's what gives you momentum in your life, which gives you purpose in your life, and not for others. Not doing it for others. Inspiring confidence in others because you authentically want to do it from your heart. That's what I'm talking about. Not for others from the ego. Like, this is not what this is about. So, they are sincere. They are genuine, and they are uninhibited when it comes to self-expression. They will, let everybody know about, the way that they want to express themselves authentically. They will not let anyone hinder their self-expression. They will express themselves, however they, really want to, and that's a really beautiful quality with Jupiter in Leo. Is being free to express themselves however they want to. They're very, very affable. They show their hearts. They show their hearts. They live from a heart-centered place, and others can rely on them to be their authentic selves. Like, if you're in in relationship with a Jupiter and Leo person, then they're going to be their authentic selves, and they're going to likely express it from the heart. And if they're from the ego, then that's them at their shadow side. But with this placement, there is a genuineness, and they will live from their heart and their truth and integrity, no matter what. Just think about that. No matter what. No matter what this person says, like, oh, you can't do this. You can't, you're too big and too loud. No, this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to express it. This is my authentic light, and I don't care what you think. I'm going to express it, and it's genuine, and heartfelt, and so this is beautiful. I love this about Leos, is that of how genuine they are, and that they can be, you know, and if so yeah, they're very strong in themselves. They show what they believe, and they will not hold it back, but they will openly and honestly let you know about it. So that is what I want to say in this episode on Jupiter and Leo. I wasn't planning to do an episode today, but I just figured circumstances sort of paved the way for this, and I just figured I want to take several of the live streams that I did with placements and and do podcast episodes based off of this. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you have Jupiter and Leo, I hope that you found value from this. And I will see you in the next episode of the Cosmic Sky Podcast, which is going to be about, it is really going to be about Venus and Capricorn in the natal birth chart. What that means when it comes to your personality and your sense of values and your sense of what you value, and all that with and with whatever you are doing, really, very, very hugely. Or it could be another topic entirely. I don't know, necessarily speaking. So that is all that I have to say in this episode. Bye for now.